Okay, so today was just a loaded day full of so much symbolism and synchronicity. It's ridiculous. I went out for the premiere of Jordan Peele's new movie called Nope, which might be an acronym for not of planet Earth, and spoiler alert, this recording may or may not have spoilers in it. So, first, I want to talk about what happened before and after I went to see the film, okay? So, I went out this morning and I really enjoyed a lot of the artwork that I saw on the ground. I really enjoyed that immensely. And as I got towards the end of the sidewalk, I heard a group of people saying the name of a specific person, saying that person made the art. And it was some scenes about Noah's Ark and about Jesus, not Yeshua, being risen. And I felt pain in my stomach when I heard them say that person's name, and I thought, oh God, I hope they're not talking about the one who supported all the people who were bullying me so brutally and lying and piling trash up sky high in my room every night at the homeless shelter before I found a home, and getting ugly and nasty with me because I was making at least some attempt to act on my alleged spiritual calling. And they piled up trash in my room every night, would bang on the bed all night so I couldn't sleep. If I would say anything in a calm manner about what's wrong in general that I felt I was called to speak on, I mean, there would be people jumping in the middle of it, even if it had nothing to do with them, even if I never said anything about them, and even if it's not their business, they made it their business. And their attitude was basically, you shut up, bitch. You don't have a fucking calling. You're going to be who the fuck we want you to be. You're going to say what we want you to say. And if we want you to shut up, you're going to shut the fuck up, because our culture has all the answers. Our African culture has all the answers. Our European version of Christianity has all the answers, and we don't want or need to hear nothing from you. That's what they were saying with their actions, with putting lies in my files and piling trash up in my room every night and banging on my bed frame all night so I couldn't sleep in the homeless shelter. Lying and saying I was talking about certain individuals who had literally nothing to do with what I was trying to deal with, according to my alleged spiritual calling. That's what was going on with a specific person who's an ordained minister who was supporting people who were bullying me, and asked me zero questions throughout the whole ordeal. No one, including him, asked me any questions. No questions about anything. No mediation on anything. No intervention. That they did not mediate nothing, did not ask no questions. He didn't. Multiple churches did not. Even a prophetic pastor did not. None of them, right? So I'm minding my own business, admiring art, and then I hear some people talking, and the minute I heard his name while I was looking at the biblical art on the sidewalk, I felt pain in my stomach like I had been punched in my stomach, because this is not someone who I was having sex with. This is someone who I kind of halfway felt was maybe could have been a friend. Maybe. I wasn't having sex with the dude. I wasn't emailing him. I wasn't calling him. I wasn't spending time alone with him, but other women were. And the other women who were doing that with that married man, they never caught any backlash from anyone. And they were helping to bully me too. And I wasn't doing any of that with this guy. He was someone who I thought maybe could have been a friend, while other people were beating me down when I had nothing. Nothing. I had nothing. I had no one. I had nowhere to go. And they were beating my ass down and kicking me while I was down. because I was trying to make an attempt to act on my alleged calling as I felt that I was maybe being led to do. Literally kicking me while I was down. So anyway, it really, really hurt me deep, like a gut punch or a stab. And this is the kind of pain I felt when I heard that ordained minister's name while I was looking at the biblical part of the art on the sidewalk. But I pretended that I didn't hear it. I pretended that those people were invisible. And I kept walking because that's what's expected of me in most communities, period, because no matter what community I am in, a woman who's like me is basically at the bottom of the totem pole, regardless of whether it's a black community, white, Mexican. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, and I'm the very thing nobody wants to see, especially not elevated. Oh no. If my specific destiny turns out to be true, a lot of people of all races are going to be like, hell no. If that bitch is not thoroughly protected, just shoot her in the head. And I'm pretty sure that's how they would respond if I was elevated to a certain point. Even though I'm not ignorant, I'm not heartless, and I don't just accept things without questioning it like they do. And even though I'm not like them, I know they would shoot me or try to shoot me, or just try to take everything away from me, what little I do have, if I was elevated beyond a certain point spiritually, and also not if I was not protected along with it. Come on. Like, these people, they're no different than the people who crucified Yeshua. Literally no different. And then celebrating the fact that they're no different from the people who crucified Yeshua, and proud of it. So anyhow, I thought that would be the end of it when I walked past that biblical art on the sidewalk and heard a group of people saying a specific ordained minister's name and causing me physical pain just by hearing his name. So I go to the movie theater, I'm all happy and excited because I get to nerd out and watch a sci-fi thriller that I've been looking forward to for a while. And then who do I see on the big screen in a fucking commercial with a microphone singing? That same ordained minister with a microphone to his mouth singing. It was him. And I thought, man, it's just this guy. And it's like this guy is everywhere. I mean, the worship and the idolizing is real. They worshiping the shit out of his ass and probably following his example too. A lot like the people who raised up Saul in the Bible, where they raised up Saul and rejected David and wanted to kill David. Like that kind of scenario, literally. So I saw him in a commercial, and also the local police were in a commercial with him too. The same police who ignored me when I told them what was happening to me and told them about people from the church with demons on their Facebook page threatening to kill me. Same police who did nothing when I told them this. Prophetic pastor, retired police chief, did nothing, made no response to me, asked no questions, gave me zero comfort emotionally. And they were right there in the commercials, in the movie theater previews, with that same ordained minister who supported the people who was bullying me and questioned none of what was going on, asked me zero questions, gave me zero comfort, and only sided with hoes who were mean. So I see these people in the previews for the movies. They're being talked about with the biblical art on the sidewalk about Jesus, not Yeshua, being risen. And I'm like, man, it was like I just could not get away from that guy's face and name today. And it was literally painful to hear his name, because I thought that was someone who might have possibly been a friend to me, but instead, he just kicked me while I was down. Said nothing, supported people who were kicking me while I was down and said nothing. Didn't stand up for me, not once, ever. And from listening to the testimonies of other Black women and Black female influencers I'm aware that it's not a personal problem and that it's a common occurrence in the Black community. It's not just because I don't look like a supermodel. It's not just because I was homeless at the time. It's not because I was trying to act on my alleged spiritual calling by addressing some issues and with people who had nothing to do with it jumping in on it and lying. I've learned that those were not the only reasons. I learned that the type of treatment I received, that's just how Black women a lot of times are treated, period. When someone decides to play wolf, people, they just stand there and watch. They don't speak up a lot of times. They're not going to defend you, especially not the Black men. That won't say not one word in your defense, won't ask you if you're okay. If you're not a so-called preference or a preferred facial and body type or preferred income or social type of woman, oh, he ain't gonna say nothing in your defense. You can take a long walk off a short bridge. And I've learned from listening to Black women's streaming that this is what Black men do. You don't have to be called to have a prophetic calling like David. You don't have to be called to have a prophetic calling like Moses. You don't have to be average looking. You don't have to be ugly. You don't have to be fat or older. You don't have to just be treated a certain kind of way because you're poor. I've learned this is just what Black men do to most Black women who are not preferred, not someone who can help in the process of social climbing. Okay. So with that said, it really just didn't sit well with me that I was happy. I was minding my own business. I was trying to enjoy a nice, peaceful day to go nerd out in a movie that I've really wanted to see and I was so excited about. And then here I had to go into it feeling pain in my stomach from those painful reminders of what I went through in this town when I was homeless and nobody stood up for me, not even the individuals who I thought were my friends. They didn't either, and they didn't question nothing either.